day and stuff. This is the finished product of the Gen 3, of our new Gen 3 program that we were doing. So you guys can see the end result.
I want to be by myself.
What?
Thompson's Auto Clinic. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for checking out the channel here again. Andrew here with AW Media. Another episode on the RS3. Definitely feels, it doesn't feel like it, but we need to do this service. It's time for a 40,000 mile service on a 2023 Audi RS3. I've enjoyed driving this car. I've maintained this car up until this point with O-Star Performance, and I haven't had any issues, thank God, with the car. So we're gonna be doing the 40,000 mile service with Thompson Auto Clinic. They're local here in Lakeland. Normally I would have did it with O-Star, but it's a 2-hour drive over there, and I gotta get back into the office as soon as I possibly can. So Thompson Auto Clinic is gonna be the way to go with this. Now he specializes in Euros, and he has this C4 that is so, you're gonna see it. It's really, really nice. But he specializes in European performance, and I want to have it done at a shop. I would do it myself, but there's certain, when it comes to the transmission, you're gonna see what the 40,000 mile service does entail. What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
You guys doing all right?
Doing good, doing good.
Sorry I had to come in and interrupt you guys while you guys were working.
Absolutely, man.
How's your guys' day going so far?
Another day in paradise, my friend. Just dealing with the punches.
I hear you. I see a bunch of really nice cars outside.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell everybody what your names are real quick, where we're at, and what you drive, because we saw so many cars outside. I don't know.
Yeah, my name is Luis. I drive the M3, the red one is outside.
Yeah, the E93.
Yeah.
Yes, and my little blue little pebble there, the E89 C4. Yeah, that's my little baby. I mean, I have that, and I have a E92 335. They're both single turbo. And yeah, I like. Everybody's hopping on the B58 platforms, but I'm a little bit old school. I like to stick with you know, the OGs.
So what have you done to that one so far, that platform so far?
Both of them are single turbo. The Z4 has a 8.8 rear end. It's DCT. It has clutches. I'm trying to think. Right now it's on 93. It doesn't have port injection. I was going to end up deciding on going towards a standalone, which from Max ECU, they arrive, actually, believe it or not, today. And I'm just going to delete the direct injection system on that car.
Oh.
So I'm just going to block off the DI, and just going to run like 1300 cc injectors, and just run, you know, port like the old school OG Supras with the 2J, the 1J. They're tried and proven. You know, there's so many fueling problems with the N54s that, you know, what shines people away from them. You know, the injectors are so expensive.
So what does a 40,000 mile entail on a 2023 Audi RS3?
Well, basically just fluid changes. You probably have to do plugs at some point. We have to pull them and see what their state of where they're at. It depends on how you've been driving the car. You know, if it's been something that you've been really getting on it, you know, I would. You know, this is a car that begs to be driven. So But we look at the basic stuff, pads, see where they're at, make sure there's no lateral run out on the rotors and stuff like that. Check for leaks, but at 40,000 miles, highly unlikely,
Now, my biggest fear with, and this was something that you and I had talked about for a little while now, my biggest fear with doing maintenance such as this one, on this specific type of vehicle, because of how new the vehicle is, I wanted to have it done at the dealer just because of the vehicle's value and just showing that it withheld that maintenance done at that time.
Right.
Now, does that really even matter?
Not necessarily, because nowadays stuff shows up on Carfax and auto check reports that normally one would show and the other one won't show. You know what I mean? So it comes down to the fact that not every report is reliable. The important thing to have is the actual receipt of service that you did on the vehicle, the maintenance that you've done on the vehicle. If that should suffice, given whoever's trying to see if they can purchase the car, in the future. It all comes down to documents, and being able to prove that service was done, But I've had situations where I've had a car, all I had to do was paint a bumper, and the small shop ended up reporting it to Carfax that they painted up a bumper, and that showed that the car was in an accident, and that wasn't the case. And then to fight Carfax to get that out was a nightmare, because they just, once you report it, it's automated. They have these systems where they automatically report to Carfax, and it's 100% automated, and there's nothing that you can do about it, because they have to create an invoice for the service that they're doing, painting a bumper or whatever. So they'll automatically ding your car history. So a lot of people need to be careful when they have services like that done, so then that way it doesn't show something that didn't really happen, on these reports. So, and it's an uphill battle, and once something shows up, like I said, you're going to be fighting with them for months, And if you're trying to get rid of the car at that point, forget about it, because you just have already lost a good amount of money on the value of the car.
Oh, yeah.
So
it doesn't really make that big of a difference at all.
No. Well, realistically, what you do is you're actually saving money because of the labor rates from an independent versus a dealership. Dealership rates are within the 200s. I'm just a little bit above half that. And the majority of the market is. And we tend to have a little bit more one-on-one with our customers. In regards to the maintenance and everything that gets done, we give face to the customer, whereas in the dealership, you have to go through the service advisor, and sometimes the service advisor isn't as knowledgeable on these platforms as you think they are. These are guys that all their cookie cutter to do is sell services. 40,000 miles, let's do brakes. Let's do automatically without even looking at them.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, the industry has shifted where it's a commission-based service, So the more stuff that they sell you, the more food you put on their plate, And that's quite unfortunate, because that opens up a whole other opportunity for fraud and selling stuff that you don't need, But at the end of the day, us independents, I pride myself on being able to talk to my customers. I touch almost every car that comes into the shop. My technicians will do the same. It's a one-on-one field. It's like we're working alongside. And that caters towards the tuner, the guy that likes the car. But wants to know more about it, and you have the opportunity, because our techs are here to assist in any way possible, not just the actual repair, but the knowledge of it. We share it with our customers so they know for the next time.
So what are the first couple of steps that you've taken so far for the 40K mile service?
Drain the oil, already loosened the transmission, the DSG filter up top, that involved removing the intake. And after draining the filter, I'm gonna start draining the DSG.
Plug inside of a plug on the transmission?
Yeah.
Explain to me how that works.
It's more like a lever to measure the level of the transmission fluid. And you're gonna see it now. I'm gonna pull it out so you can see how long it is. And this thing is supposed to measure the level once the new fluid is in.
It's good to know that that fluid is basically brand new.
Yeah, that's really good.
So, maintenance on time.
After this, you won't have to worry about it for another 40,000 miles. Which sadly for you is next year.
Swap.
One for the engine, which is this one right here. And then over here you have the filter.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the filter has this little cap that you can remove it, and there's a little valve that you can just stick a screwdriver and just drain that. That way when you take the filter out, it's not like splashing all over the place.
Oh, okay.
It makes it cleaner.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
the transmission, well, yeah, it has the actual drain plug, and then it has the little level plug, and that's just to keep all the oil up there.
So now we're refilling?
Yeah, we're about to start refilling the transmission.
Now, is there a specific procedure that has to be done for that?
Yes, there is, but it's not that necessary for what I have seen. I normally just drain the transmission if it's cold, which this one, it's fairly cold for what it is right now. And it's just filling it up. The recommendation is 5.6 quarts, something like that. I normally just fill it up with 6 quarts, turn the car on, and then take the drain plug off as soon as it starts and just wait for it to start dripping. Normally you have to wait for a certain temperature, but I have been doing it like this for over 4 or 5 years. I never had an issue with transmission fluid being low or even too full. So I guess it's a little method that works. That's not that necessary to go with what the manufacturer recommends, because you have to sit for like 15-20 minutes for the transmission to warm up to that specific temperature, and then you have a little window of time before it keeps getting hotter, and then the measurement's not gonna be right. So I just do it that way. It works. If other people disagree with that, well, they can. I mean, everybody has their way to do their stuff. It works for me, it might not work for somebody else, so. Now we're gonna jump into the rear differential. The rear differential in this car has the new design split torque differential type that has 2 clutch packs on each side, and down the middle you have a differential, so it takes 2 different oils. And I'm gonna show you now where the plugs are. Over here, you're gonna have to come this way if you can.
Yeah.
So you have these 2 units here. There's 2 different clutch packs in each one, and the center one is the differential. And over here you have, this is the drain plug for this clutch pack, and this is the drain plug for this clutch pack. And then the fill plugs are up on the top, and then this is the drain plug for the differential, and then the fill plug is this one over here. And all we have to do is drain those, refill them until they start leaking from the fill plug, and that's it, you're good to go.
So it's pretty simple then.
Yeah, it's a lot simpler than I thought it was gonna be, so that's good.
Now, you've done the 40K mile service obviously on the Audi RS3. Is there, basically, I know the rear end is, or the differential is going to be different, but other than that, up front is pretty much the same.
Yes, the front is exactly the same.
Okay. Now, I remember you saying that there was 3 actual screws, so this could be confusing for some people.
Yeah.
There was 3 screws there, but one of them you're actually not supposed to touch.
Yes, how I showed, this one's the drain, this one over here is the fill plug, this one on the middle, you just leave it alone.
That's it.
That's it. You don't have to touch that one at all.
And that's for both sides?
Yes, both sides have the same middle plug, which you don't have to do anything with.
Wow, so that's I feel one bad. I guess the only way to really know is to test that, right?
Yeah, which you can talk to Tony because I know we send a bunch of oil to Blackstone Laboratories.
Okay.
So you can just talk to him, and I'm sure he might have some containers around.
Now, compared to the RS3s that you have done,
This is cleaner than
Really?
yeah. Yeah, I've seen some RS3s with really dark oil, especially sometimes at even lower miles, because most people launch their cars, do a bunch of racing, and honestly, this is not that bad.
okay, at least that's good. I'm used to the whole Honda life where, you set it and forget it.
Oh, okay,
I'm
no,
not going to play that game here.
no, it's not worth it.
So that's the amount that's in each side of the differential?
Yeah, this is basically what came out.
Of just one side?
Yeah. So this is probably what's gonna go in on both sides, and then the center one. Center one came out perfect. It was nice and clear. I'm pretty sure you saw it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So yeah, let's plug everything back up, put new fluid, and get you ready to go.
So, pretty simple service. I honestly thought it was going to be a lot more in-depth than that, really. But what did the whole service basically entail?
Oil change in the engine, DSG service, the bevel box, the rear differential, and the 2 clutch packs for the split torque differential.
Pretty much it. So pretty much fluids.
Yeah.
Fluids all around. So we went with redline in the differential.
Yes.
And is there any reason you chose redline over the OEM spec? You just prefer the redline?
Yeah, the additives that they have, they help with wear. The temperature that they can hold is a lot higher than OEM stuff. And the same thing with the mold tool that we use, because we use redline for the differential, but for the clutches we use mold tool, and we have seen them hold temperature very well.
No discoloration, none of that. We have a really good additive package.
Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this YouTube episode. Huge shout out to Thompson Auto Clinic for helping me with my 40,000 mile service. Saved me some money, got the service done well, used premium products on the car to make sure that the service is the car is going to be running the way it should be running. And as you guys saw, for a 40,000 mile service on a 2023 Audi RS3, it requires majority and mostly fluids. Obviously, your technician is going to look over your car and see what else may need to be done, but that's all based upon your technician and the time of the service, what they may see in the car that may need to be done. But that's just to give you an idea of what the service is going to be. And again, huge shout out to Thompson Auto Clinic. To see more content, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.